Stick 'em up. Stick 'em up.
The popularity of exotic pets is exploding on social media.
I have 30 pets and today is birthday.
But the cute videos we see on our feeds
It's totally romanticised and it's a problem.
are hiding a darker reality.
Yes, he did. Want some coke? Lick my fingers. Ooh, yeah.
Untold goes undercover to witness the shocking conditions some animals endure.
When I have a closer look at anything, just let me know.
And to find out just how easy it is to buy a monkey in Britain.
£400 and then on the dice card. For now, a little cage, about a big.
The RSPCA would like to see a ban on the keeping of primates as pets.
With the numbers of some species increasing drastically,
We're already at crisis point. We're having to turn animals away.
are social media influencers to blame?
I have 1.6 billion likes.
Why don't you delete that content?
I'm never going to be able to take that away from people's memory.
Is it time to ban exotic pets in Britain? I'm Nadeem Pereira. As a wildlife activist, I love seeing animals in their natural environment. But I'm increasingly finding that animals we'd expect to see in the wild are being kept as pets and posted on social media, where abuse and exploitation is rampant. I'm seeing monkeys in nappies, snakes in swimming pools, spiders in mouths. Truthfully, it's quite distressing. These videos have hundreds of thousands of likes, millions and millions of plays. Cute content goes viral too, like this fox with 1.8 million followers.
Here, give me your ears, because they're cute.
This ferret with 17.6 million followers. And the most popular TikToker in Britain, exotic animal keeper Kyle Thomas, with over 35 million followers.
Today I'm taking Julia on her first ever walk.
Could this be encouraging others to get these animals? The TikTok hashtag exotic pets has been viewed 208 million times in the UK over the past 3 years and 6 billion times worldwide. And it's gone viral in popularity in that same period, with a 250% rise in interest, peaking in August this year. So whose content's popping off? I'm going to Birmingham to meet someone who's been flying high on TikTok. Yes, Birdman.
How you doing, mate?
With the bird. Yes, bro. How are you?
Zazu,
Hello, Zazu.
come through.
Thank you very much, bro. This is Mumrays,
Kiss. Aww, good boy.
a.k.a. Wild and Free Birdman.
Forget what you heard, man. I'm the Birdman. I got the parrot saying Assalamu alaikum.
He has over 700,000 followers and over 12 million likes on his TikTok,
Stick 'em up.
where he posts content with his 2 macaw parrots, Aria and Zazu.
Aria, step up.
Aria, a blue-throated macaw, is an endangered species.
She doesn't like anybody just apart from me.
There's only estimated to be about 400 of these guys left in the wild.
Zazu, come. Good boy.
They're about to put on a live show for me and thousands of their TikTok followers.
Assalamu alaikum. Zazu, spin. Zazu's doing everything on point. Zazu, go perch.
It was quite a show,
So how is everybody? How are you all doing?
but it did feel bizarre to see these magnificent and precious birds
Zazu, come.
in a front room in Birmingham.
Give everybody a kiss at home.
Should they really be here at all? What would you say to someone who says, that's a critically endangered bird, bro, you should not have that bird?
I'd say that this bird was already bred in captivity, would have always been in captivity. So if I didn't have it, somebody else would have had it.
Yeah.
And at least I'm giving her a loving life. If I didn't rescue Zazu, I probably would have not have ever had any birds.
Birdman took us to his garden
I've had my clothes drying, so you're gonna have to duck through here.
to show us his outside aviary.
There's room for everybody.
It was no rainforest, but it was bigger than I expected.
This is how I shower them. Yeah, she used to hate it. So as soon as I'd spray, she'd literally fly away.
There you
But
go.
look. And it's very good for them. Look, she's still running away, Aria does. Aria still runs away a bit. Zazu!
Go on.
Good boy.
So we've just come off a live with
Yes.
you. How many people were in that live?
We had about 600 people at one given point. About 4,000 to 5,000 people joined in the space of 15 minutes.
And I noticed people were like sending gifts and everything like that. What does that add up to? Does that equate to some money as well?
Yeah, it does. It does. It depends how many gifts you get.
What's the most you've ever got from a live?
From a live.
Yeah.
Don't know if I want to disclose that. I was #1 in the UK at one point for 7 days. We accumulated about 5.7 million diamonds.
Wow.
That's probably about 25,000, 30,000 pounds.
It's a lot of money, man. With that kind of money to be made, could he be encouraging copycats? The issue is a lot of people, they'll see that one snapshot, and off that one snapshot, they're going to be like, yo, I want a macaw, and I'm just going to buy one.
I have to make these like cute videos and this like Zazu doing the tricks because that captures the audience. My audience sees how much time and effort I have to put in to be with them. My audience sees that sometimes I can't have a social life.
Am I going on TikTok from
Are you excited?
Pakistan? Girl, I'm off in no say. One bird on the left, one on the right. They call him the Birdman. If you get found guilty in court, you might end up doing some Birdman. You don't want to play around. It's
Him excited.
Birdman's audience is also found on the streets of Birmingham.
Wings.
Birdman in it.
Yes, brother.
TikTok.
Yes, my bro. Careful, he might bite you.
He was mobbed everywhere we went. Young people fascinated by the animals.
Wow, good boy.
And we've discovered that those looking at the content online are also young, with more than half of those viewing the TikTok hashtag exotic pets between the ages of 18 and 24. It's this trend that has got exotic pet vets like Fabian Rivers concerned.
I'm absolutely seeing a huge increase, and an increase in interest. It's all over every single social media account, but also it's this idea that they can facilitate all these cool things. So you have birds doing tricks, or snakes climbing and chasing things and causing a ruckus at home. And we see these through a very contained version of
A
social media.
romanticized idea.
It's totally romanticized, and it's a problem because we only see a snapshot, but actually their whole lives is the important thing we should be focusing on.
It's not just Fabian who's worried. A recent poll of vets in Britain found that over 80% thought the welfare needs of exotic pets were not being met. Reptiles, amphibians, and invertebrates are the most popular exotics kept as pets. And the numbers are going up. The pet snake population is estimated to have risen by 200,000 in the past year. And the RSPCA receive more than 100 calls a month about escaped pet snakes.
I can get up to about 13, 14 foot.
Tori, a 24-year-old dog walker from Essex, has nearly 30 reptiles.
Just because you're not interested in something doesn't take away everyone else's privilege to take care and appreciate these animals, you know?
She runs a TikTok page called Tori's Exotics
Okay, guys, I'm gonna do an unboxing video of some new pets.
and has 17,000 followers and over 500,000 likes. Tori says she uses her TikTok to encourage good care of exotic animals.
Here are some mistakes I see all new reptile keepers making. Firstly, not factoring in energy bills when it comes to the cost of your animals and how much it's going to cost to keep them. Secondly, not factoring the full size of that animal when buying a baby.
But it's the more harmful content posted on social media that often gets the most likes. And she thinks this gives exotics keepers like her a bad name.
I think people like a shock factor when it comes to social media. So people will intentionally almost aggravate animals so that they give a reaction. For example, like the snake striking at cameras and things like that. They have to have worked that snake up. The only thing that does for the industry is give people a negative connotation about snakes. But then they end up getting more views than the people who are, you know, doing their best, trying their best.
A study has found 75% of pet reptiles die prematurely in their first year. So should they be kept domestically at all? You've come across haters in your comments before. Some of them might be watching this now, looking at all the animals you've got, and they're saying, yo, you should not have this. What would you say to those people?
People use the excuse a lot about the wild, as if any of my animals would last more than 2 minutes in the wild. You know, there's things like predators, there's parasites, there's extreme weather conditions. Like, within captive care, we can control all of that and eliminate all of that.
But can they really be better off in captivity? The Animal Welfare Act lays out rules on how exotic pets should be kept, such as places to hide and access to food and water. But we've discovered people don't always stick to them. We visited an event in Milton Keynes which advertised itself as a breeders' meeting or show.
Oh wow, it's massive in here, isn't it?
But we soon gathered evidence of the commercial sale of reptiles as pets. Something made illegal nearly 40 years ago. We filmed covertly inside and witnessed up to 100 different sellers selling stock at the event, often for hundreds and sometimes thousands of pounds.
Is there anything you do like? You can put it down.
Selling animals at market stalls is banned, as animal welfare standards can't be ensured in temporary environments.
Are they easy, Reed? I guess so.
Do a little tutorial online, read a little, and you'll be an expert.
But we saw just how many species were available, lined up side by side in tiny Tupperware boxes as they're handled by potential buyers throughout the day.
I mean, I've got a caramel here as well. Oh, do you? Yeah. That's it. I think it's on that's a caramel.
We showed Fabian the footage. So, what have we just seen here?
So what we've seen is a mess, a complete failure of the basic or minimum welfare standards that we should maintain for these animals. We've seen hundreds and thousands of animals bunched together, clear cases, no places to hide, no access to water, no access to any type of reprieve from such a stressful situation.
I'm putting myself in the shoes of one of these sellers at such an event. What would you say if they said to you, it's only temporary, I've got to sell them somehow, I've got to transport them somehow, and when I sell them on, they're going to go to a good home and live a happy life?
There's no proof in this video that anything, and I mean this, anything is with regards to the life after purchase. Going to an event where people can sell and be unlicensed is such an issue, because what we are saying is that it's okay for people to break the law and sell animals without any type of ramifications.
The International Herpetological Society, who organised the event, told us,
the welfare of the animals at the show is very important to those who are selling animals, those buying them, and the IHS. We had 2 specialist reptile vets present on the day of the event. The tubs that contain animals are temporary travel arrangements. The animals are appropriately fed and watered before and after the event. IHS breeders' meetings are held to allow keepers and breeders to meet up and share their successes and knowledge, as well as allowing an outlet for surplus offspring to be offered to other hobbyists. A court ruling in 2006 concluded such events did not need to be licensed, as the sale of surplus stock is outside the scope of licensing.
It's not just reptiles being bought and sold here in Britain. A lot of popular social media content shows other exotics, such as skunks, meerkats, and one of the most popular, marmoset monkeys. So just how easy is it to buy one? And do breeders really care for them? Open our social feeds and we're bombarded with cute content of animals of all types, often offering them for sale. It is legal to own small primates, such as marmoset monkeys, but there are strict government guidelines on how they should be kept. These include not keeping them individually or separating them from their mothers, due to the trauma it causes them. But are these rules always met? So I'm having a look online at monkeys for sale, and within minutes, I've got so many options. But the really worrying thing is that a lot of these breeders seem to be breaking the guidelines for keeping primates. Take this guy in the Midlands. He has some marmosets for sale. When we contacted him, he told us he was selling them hand-reared, meaning separated from their mothers, for £2,500 each And crucially, he was prepared to sell them separately, meaning they would be isolated and alone. We wanted to confirm that he was involved in this practice, so paid him a visit with undercover cameras.
Couple of weeks old.
The owner briefly hands our undercover reporter the single baby monkey he is prepared to sell us. It's barely the size of a finger.
Let me show you mum and dad. These are the ivies. This is the mum and dad. This is the mum.
He shows us the parents outside in an aviary, but says keeping the baby alone in a small cage will be fine.
For now, a little cage, about a big. But as he gets a bit bigger, he's going to need a bigger cage, like a pallet cage or something.
And our seller confirms that he is hand-rearing the marmosets.
The mum told me his dad. That's how he sees the army's mum. When you have him, give it 3 days, and then he'll be all over you.
Our team discussed the finances of the deal with the seller,
12 deposit, and then on the day just pay.
but left without paying the deposit. It was clear this seller was not keeping within the guidelines. And I caught up with exotics vet Fabian to ask if he saw any issues of concern in the footage.
One of them that I saw very quickly was the advocating for selling individual marmosets. Now, they are very sociable animals and they need companionship.
What effect does it have on a young marmoset to be taken away from its mother?
There's no doubt in my mind, and I don't think any other veterinary professional would feel any different, that that particular process would be traumatic and a failure of basic welfare and care.
The RSPCA estimate that there are thousands of primates kept in homes around Britain. Sometimes in situations like this one.
I need the toilet. You can't even a toilet.
Millie the marmoset was rescued and her owner prosecuted after disturbing footage emerged of her being flushed down the toilet.
No! No! Quick, guys!
And offered cocaine.
Did you want some coke? Lick my fingers. Ooh, yeah.
Last year, the RSPCA had to deal with incidents relating to 77 primates. They want immediate action.
The RSPCA would like to see a ban on the keeping and selling of primates as pets. We see in our field officers going out that the welfare needs are often not being met. And in some cases, for instance, primates, they're just not suitable for being kept in people's homes. So it might be someone who's got a marmoset off Facebook and then realised that a parrot cage in the living room is not going to do it. And then they reach out to us. And then we've got the very difficult situation of, you know, we want to help, but then it's finding space for that animal, finding a good home for that animal, especially once the damage has been done.
There are only a few places in the country that take in rescued primates. One of them is Wild Futures, hidden away behind a hilltop on the Cornish coast. They're on the front line. This is footage of a rescue which took place in July of Apollo and Bobby. They had spent years locked up in this small cage, but now have a lot more space.
Marmosets are the most popular primate in the pet trade.
Right. Why do you think they're so popular?
Sadly, it's because they're easy to breed.
Right.
And because they're small, people think that they don't need a lot of space.
Right.
And they don't think they're going to do a lot of damage. And damage includes biting.
Right.
And people are wrong. Because that's when we get the phone call, you know,
Right.
when the infant monkey who was really dependent on the person and wanting their attention because they'd been taken away from mum, and so they needed that emotional support. As they develop, as they grow and get frustrated and start to assert themselves as wild animals, they bite.
The government is considering banning primates from being kept as pets. But right now, the situation is getting worse, and this sanctuary can't take in any more.
We're already at crisis point. We're having to turn animals away. And very often, the only solution the owner has is to sell them back into the trade, and the whole thing continues.
And they're not the only ones who are overwhelmed. We contacted a number of sanctuaries across the UK, and they all told us they were at capacity, with many pointing to social media as the cause.
When you get some influencer or some celebrity filmed with a monkey, you see a spike in that interest. You only have to look at the comments underneath about how cute they are and I want one. It's really frustrating because they are causing so much harm. They're normalising something which is cruel and which people don't realise is cruel.
The most popular TikToker in Britain is 19-year-old exotic pet keeper Kyle Thomas.
It's pretty cold in the UK, so Freddie's got his coat on, a nappy and a lead.
He's got marmoset monkeys, but also a vast assortment of other animals: foxes, maras, capybaras, skunks, and meerkats. Thomas has a staggering 35 million followers and 1.6 billion likes on TikTok. We looked through the comments from 3 of his most popular TikTok videos with marmosets, meerkats, and capybaras. Of the top 3,000 comments, we found that only 89 expressed concerns for the welfare of the animal. A much larger number, 456, expressed a strong desire to have one of the animals or asked where to get one, while 304 comments called the content cute or adorable. So given what I'd heard from vets like Fabian and the RSPCA, how responsible are content creators like Kyle for the rise of exotics? I arranged to meet him at London Zoo.
So we're in the rainforest, bro?
Yeah, we are.
I feel like I'm in the Amazon.
It's pretty amazing.
It is, it is.
He's announced on his TikTok new plans to build an animal sanctuary at his home in Belfast.
What's the rough view count or like count on your account at the moment?
I don't know. I have 1.6 billion likes.
Billion?
So I don't know how many views.
Billion with a B?
Yeah.
Wow. What do you think it is about, like, the animals that you show?
People are like, oh my gosh, do you know what I love about this guy? I love the enthusiasm. I love how passionate he is about it.
We've spoken to some TikTokers who have far less followings than you, and they were talking about figures like 30 grand a week they're making off TikTok lives and all these kinds of things. What's the money, sir?
Money-wise, it depends. It varies so much. I don't like to call myself an influencer because I don't influence anything.
Right.
I'm like a video sharer.
So you would say you wouldn't describe yourself as an influencer, but would you say that your content definitely can influence people?
With my content, and if you're speaking in the terms of, you know, me having so many animals, would that encourage people to get animals? Not at all, because I feel like I really emphasize the fact that my pets are not domesticated pets.
Of course, our research into his TikTok comments suggests otherwise. But Kyle is keen to stress that he is heading in a new direction.
The journey that I'm going on right now and showing the people that follow me is, okay, I was very young and I had these pets, you know? I had exotic pets. And then I realized the challenges that actually came with that. Number one, the money, the vet bills, the environment that they needed. If I could do it all over again, I would like to say to people, hey, this is what you've got to do. And these animals, please don't seek out to get these animals. I mean, I have 2 common marmosets, right? But I do not post those common marmosets on TikTok at all anymore.
Me and my monkey. Or so he says. This was posted to his 35 million followers just weeks after filming.
Monkey does the sexiest of dances.
Kyle's agent told us that the monkey had just jumped on him when he was feeding it. I wondered why the content was still up if he's distancing himself from it now.
Why don't you delete all the stuff that people are saying is wrong? Why don't you delete that content?
The content's already there, right? People have already seen those videos. I'm never going to be able to take that away from people's memory. I think it's actually better to show people and let them be able to actually see the difference.
If it lives on the algorithm forever, there might be someone that just sees that one and might not click onto you. Do you get what I'm saying?
I mean, with TikTok, I mean, it could happen, and if I feel as though that would be a risk, I would go and delete those videos, but I don't feel as though that's a risk.
It was interesting to hear that even Kyle, the most popular TikToker for exotic animal content, struggled to defend it.
Boosted by social media, the demand for exotic pets grows every single day. And it's clear to me that some of these animals are being used as toys at best, and at worst, abused and flushed down the toilet. Being caged up in somebody's living room is not good for their physical or mental well-being. Sanctuaries are full to the brim, with that situation only getting worse. Surely we can enjoy these animals not caged up in somebody's house, but out in nature where they all belong.